What's going on, guys? How's everyone doing today? So, Monday morning, January the 30th, the month is coming to a close. Going to kind of be going over some of the stocks that I'm going to be looking to trade here today. Um, First, we're going to be starting off with the Nasdaq 100. So we're going to be looking at the futures. A little bit of a pullback here in the pre-market and overnight session, which is completely fine. Okay. Now, a couple of things that we're going to be looking at here for the pre-market session is going to be this 5-day moving average. If we can kind of look at this green line here, we've really been on a power trend here on this 5-day moving average. You know, realistically, ever since we kind of reclaimed it back here on January the 6th. And what we're looking at here is all the way up on this power trend into basically the 200-day moving average. So if you know anything about technical analysis, you know that the 200-day moving average is extremely a big key level. Okay, so pull back this morning into that 200 as well as that 5-day rising moving average. What I'm going to be looking for here is if the market does want to continue to pull back, we do have some room for a potential short scalp position. Now, this is going to be for day traders and scalpers, but if we do start to lose this 200-day moving average here, then potentially we've got some room to come down. So as of right now, that 200-day moving average is sitting at around 12,030, and we will have room all the way down to 11,863. So we've got about 150 points down worth of room where we can take advantage of trying to potentially scalp some of these tech stocks, some of these mega cap stocks. That's what I'm looking at to the top side for the bull case, right? So what we're going to be looking at here for the bulls is healthy pullback, look for some sort of consolidation. Even if we break this level here, we're going to look for the bulls to kind of recover and trap the shorts off the open and then start to push higher. You can kind of see here that we are getting our first push off of this 205-day moving average here. I'm going to quickly look at some stocks just to kind of go and get some more context. We're going to be looking at the S&P 500 first. It's going to be an overall kind of picture. You can see a big hammer candle here on the S&Ps. Now we are coming into this major resistance level going all the way back to the end of November as well as the middle of December here. These two channels here is definitely something that you're going to want to look at here. Anything over 410.60 on the S&Ps, we're going to have a lot of room to continue to fly here. 410 would be that initial price point that I would be looking for here on the S&Ps to kind of push up into. Now the rising 5-day moving average on the S&Ps is 402.43, so currently about $2.50 or so below. So I can see this kind of pushing into this rising support here, seeing if the bulls can kind of trap those shorts and go red to green on the day. Now that'd be a very big ask. We could definitely kind of consolidate sideways and just really chop around. We're going to have a huge week of earnings, a huge week of Fed this week. So something that we're going to need to kind of keep in mind. Now, what the game plan would be if we do continue to pull back in an area of opportunity where you can potentially make some money is definitely going to be that if we get that close on an hourly candle below these rising supports, we're going to need to wait for that confirmation to kind of go forward and see if we can, kind of trap, right? Or if we're going to kind of confirm and we're going to go lower. If we're going to go lower, we've definitely got room on the S&Ps to come all the way down to 397, 398. That would be the first area that I would be looking for. On a healthy pullback, that would be kind of coming back to the whole breakout spot that we had here, going back to the 25th of January. Now, that's one thing to kind of keep in mind. So we're definitely going to have to kind of watch that as the day progresses. But right off of the bat, if I was going to say, is the market going to go higher or lower right off the open? It looks like we're going to come a little bit lower on the S&Ps just to at least test this rising support here. Now let's start off with a stock like Tesla, which has been on an absolute monster run. We're going to kind of have to go to an hourly chart here and kind of see. If we just kind of quickly look at Tesla, the last 3 days has been on a phenomenal run, coming from a breakout spot, realistically of around 140, 147 in that zone here. We kind of reclaimed this linear regression channel here went on a nice 2-day run here, you know, almost 35, 40 points within the last few days here on Tesla. So what I'm looking at on Tesla, you're going to have two areas here for potential scalps. You're going to have a very sneaky position, right? So when I say sneaky position, this doesn't mean that it's, you know, it's an A plus setup. This is more of like a B, you know, C plus setup, something that you can try to take advantage of for a very, very quick move, a very, very quick scalp. What I'm looking for here on Tesla is a move over the previous hour's high at 179.99. That is going to be the pre-market highs. So always I'm going to be marking out pre-market highs, pre-market lows, and then I'm going to kind of be taking that first hour of the day. I'm going to look at the highs, I'm going to look at the lows, and I'm going to mark those levels as well. And then those are going to be my major kind of supply and demand zones that I'm going to play off of for the day, and then just kind of monitor everything on a 5-minute time frame. So what we're looking at here, a little bit of a sneaky entry here at around 179.89. Okay, so 179.89, let's call it 180. You're going to have room to kind of come back and test this 180.68, which was Friday's highs. Okay, so that's what we're looking at here. If Tesla does decide to kind of lose this rising 5 and 10 day moving average, and we lose this support, what I'm really looking for here is the previous hour's low. There's a sneaky entry below 177.14 that has potential to kind of come down here and test 175. So depending on when we break and if we confirm this, that's going to be the little play that you have here. And our macro demand zone on the 1 hour chart is going to be 173.34. So if we do start to break this and we close below these two demand zones here, we would look for the top of the hour candle, which is 30 minutes after the market opens. Look for that to kind of confirm that price action and see if we can push it down into 173.31. That's going to be a level that I'm going to be looking at. So if you kind of look at where the pre-market lows is at, okay, we opened up the pre-market lows here on Tesla at 173.15. That's exactly lining up perfectly with this 20-day moving average. So if you want that, you know, if you want to wait for a lot of confirmation, a ton of confirmation, and you're not a scalper, you don't feel comfortable scalping, what you're going to want to do is let the hourly candles close below the 20-day moving average, and then you need a following candle to kind of confirm that low and then ride that down. Down below that price of around 173, you're going to have room all the way down to 167. So those are levels that you're going to need to be looking for on that. And again, like I said, to the top side, it's going to be the pre-market highs is what we're looking at. Then we're targeting 180.68, and anything over 180.68, we've got nothing but open skies. We're going to be taking a quick look at Apple. Apple kind of did its pullback already in the pre-market. We kind of look at Apple where we pulled back in. We pulled right back into this channel level here that Apple has kind of been grinding higher the last 1, 2, 3, 4, realistically last week and a half worth of trading. So we pulled all the way down into a low price of, okay, low price of 143.50s. That's also correlating with the 50-day moving average. So the 50-day moving average is very, very significantly. On Apple, I really wouldn't look to take a short on Apple until we start to close below this 50-day moving average, okay? So it's not something that I'm just going to want to chase. You know, I'm not just going to want to try to guess, right? Because we all have our own opinions, but we need to kind of do our technical analysis, and we need to kind of see exactly something concrete, right? We need to let the data kind of tell us what it is that we're doing. And for me, you know, Apple can come from this price of 144.86 here, kind of come down into 143. Yeah, there's a little bit of room there to make some money, but it's definitely going to be choppy. It's definitely going to have some ups. It's going to have some downs. I would definitely rather wait to lose some of this demand and then short on that confirmation. So for me, I need Apple to lose 143.42. And then once it loses that, I'm going to need another candle to kind of confirm that. So what I'm looking at, again, just for anybody who's new, who's joining, is I'm looking at the pre-market lows, pre-market highs, and then I'm going to mark out the first hour's candle highs and lows. Okay, so first hour is going to end within 30 minutes. So this is going to be good for people that don't like to trade off the open because of the volatility, because of the ups and downs, right? If you don't really like to trade off the open and you don't like to kind of mess with the fuss, though, then you can definitely wait 30 minutes, kind of let the market digest, let it put in its levels, and then kind of play off of those levels. Now, if you're a scalper, what you have here is you have a little bit of a potential scalp to the long position over 145.13. Here's the only downside when you start scalping off the open and you start scalping these mini channels is once this gets over 145.13, it could essentially stop anywhere between 145.13 and 146.41. Okay, so it doesn't have to come all the way up to the next supply zone here. It could definitely come up 20-30 cents, kind of get rejected, and then start to roll over. That's the thing about when you're playing in between a channel, you really don't have a lot of room where you can kind of get your feet wet and kind of get, a good understanding about where these things can go. We know potentially that it can come to 146.41, but again, because we're in the middle of a channel, it could come up a little bit, get snagged, and then start to roll over again. Okay, so what we're looking for here is we really want a bigger break. We'd like to get over 146.41. We'd like to close over that. And then we've got a pretty good shot at testing 147.23 and then making new highs. Or we'd like it to get below this 50-day moving average of 143.42. We'd like it to close below that and then look for it to confirm that price action to kind of come down 143 and 141.60. We're going to take a look at Amazon very, very quickly here. Amazon, same thing, kind of had a big down open here. Now Amazon's pre-market lows are going to sit at $100.25. That's what we would be looking at to kind of take our short position. You would have a sneaky entry here at $100.97. You would play that $100.97 down into 127, start taking some profits there, and then see if we can kind of confirm and then move lower towards that 99.55. Those would be the first two areas that I would try to target if I was looking to take a short position on Amazon. But if we're looking to kind of ride Amazon to the bull side here, you can see that Amazon had that down open. We've pushed up since all of pre-market has been open. What we would be looking for here is 101.82. Over 101.82 has room to get back into Friday's price action here between 102 and 103.49. Those would be the areas that I would play to the long side if you're going to look to scalp this. Anything over 101.75, play that into 102.25, play that into 103.49, and kind of take your profits along the way as we start to move higher here. That's one thing that you're going to want to kind of do if you're looking to kind of play Amazon to the long side. Now, again, this can come in here, put in 50 cents, get snagged, go sideways, and start to roll over. Your stop loss on that long position is going to have to be below $100.92. That's this 20-day moving average. If we do start to close below the $100.92 mark, we start to lose this 20-day moving average. We've got a lot of room to come down to kind of test this pre-market lows at $100.22, and our macro demand is going to be 99.50. We're going to quickly take a look at some of these semiconductors, starting with one of the stocks I like to trade a lot, which is going to be NVIDIA. NVIDIA, same thing, kind of a big pull here, just along with everything else, right? A lot of these charts are going to look the same in a sense where they had a big pull off the open in the pre-market, and they kind of, going sideways or kind of trying to start to recover. So with NVIDIA, there's not a lot of room here, right? If NVIDIA starts to lose a pre-market lows 198, okay, so 198 has room down into 196.24. So you got about $1 to $1.50 here worth of room where you can try to scalp this into this 50-day moving average. Now, just kind of keep in mind, NVIDIA has not traded below the 50-day moving average in over a week's time, okay? So what we're looking at here is if NVIDIA starts to close below the 50-day moving average to potentially the short-term trend up, right? The short-term bull trend could be starting to come to a close. Short term, right? Maybe that's 1-2 days, maybe that's a week, maybe it's just even 1 day. But if we get the close below the 50-day moving average, it's something that you're going to want to keep in mind, because that's going to be the short position you're going to want to get into is 196.42. You've got a lot of room down to 193.21. Those $2, $3 worth of room here is what you're going to want to play to the downside. Okay, so keep that in mind. the market's been on a phenomenal run. If I go ahead and just pull up like Nvidia's daily chart here, I mean, look at this run. This is an absolute monster of a move here. We had our macro breakout here over 188. We're currently trading at 203. The initial breakout on the reconfirmation of the 50-day moving average came here, guys. It came here all the way on the 9th. Okay, so we're looking at about almost 3 weeks worth of trading. We've had nothing but green days besides 2. Okay, this could definitely start to rest. If we look at the daily candle here below this five-day moving average, 193.85 has a tremendous amount of room down to 184. This can lose 194 and come all the way down here to 184, which is a $10 move. It can come all the way down here, back test, consolidate, and still be healthy for the bulls. Okay, so we can come down 10, even 15 points, right, to 175, 20 points. We can come all the way back down here to the rising 20, and the bulls still have a case that we're going to go ahead and put in new highs, right? It's not until we re-lose this daily 50-day moving average at 164 where the trend starts to change and, you know, the move starts to change, the sentiment starts to change. So just kind of keep that in mind here. As traders, we're just looking for the very, very small moves. We're just looking to get in, make a couple of points, and kind of move along with our day. You know, we want to be smart. We want to control our risk management. We don't want to be doing anything stupid, right? We don't want to be trying to guess. The charts are in front of us. That's why we're doing the homework. That's why we're already looking at the levels. Potentially, where could we be heading? Okay, if things and price action does start to confirm, where could we be heading? Okay, that's what you guys need to kind of keep in mind. Where could we be heading? That way you have a good understanding. We're going to go ahead and look at Netflix. Netflix has been an absolute monster, but it's down, you know, in the pre-market, 357.10. So if we kind of look at Netflix here, okay, we kind of zoom this in a little bit. We had a flat day on Friday. We had a little bit of a down day here on the previous day before that, right? So on Thursday, we had a little bit of a down day. On Friday, we were pretty much flat. We have these highs on Netflix of $370, currently trading at $357 in the pre-market. We closed at $360. So what I'm looking at here on Netflix, Netflix was one of the first stocks that kind of led tech out on this initial rally. It was really zooming, it was really flying, especially after earnings. So when you kind of look at that, right, it's the first stock to kind of pull into its macro. Okay, it's the first stock to pull into its macro demand. So with that kind of being taken into consideration here, if the other stocks follow, the other stocks are about a day to 2 behind on Netflix, meaning that they might have that bigger room for a pullback. If we do go into a 1-2 day consolidation, a 1-2 day pullback, it's definitely something that you're going to want to keep in mind, because if you kind of look at one of the stocks that kind of led us on this rally, look at the stocks that are still kind of lagging as far as, you know, getting that nice pullback to where they can kind of test those rising support. So what we're looking at here on Netflix is you got a macro support here at 354, just about 3 points down. Netflix is not going to be a stock that I'm going to try to just, you know, short in the hole, meaning, you know, if the whole market opens up red, right, and we do start to pull, I'm not going to look to Netflix to be my first stock to short. I want to short stocks that are coming from the top of the range down to the bottom, not stocks that are already at the bottom and then try to short those more. I hope that kind of makes sense, right? The last thing you want to do is, you know, look at the market and look at a red open, or look at the a red day, for example, and short a stock that is already down 2 days. I want to short a stock that is not down 2 days, that is barely coming from the top, right? Which is some of the stocks that we've already talked about. So from a macro perspective, you know, there's going to be a lot of room to short if the market continues to kind of wash out or backtest or correct on Netflix. But that level that I'm going to be looking for here on Netflix is 354.34. So I'm going to need an hourly close below 354.44, and then I'm going to need a wait, right? I'm going to have to be patient. I need to wait for the following hour's candle to kind of confirm that price action and take out the 354.44 level. From there, we've got 10 points down into 346. Again, to the top side, I'm really not interested in Netflix until we get back over 363. Netflix is definitely going to be a stock I'm more so looking to the downside, right? To the downside. If we kind of take a look at its daily candle, let's look at this daily candle here. And if we look at Friday's lows at around 360, which we are currently already below, Okay, so we're already below Friday's lows. That's the macro area, because if you look at the daily, we've got a lot of room down into that 344. So we've got that 10 points down. So being that we're already below Friday's lows here, we have to look to the next area of demand and kind of wait for that level to confirm. Now we're at the bottom, so we need to wait for that 354. Okay, even if you planned on getting on into Netflix on Friday below the lows, you've got to kind of wait now, because now we're at the bottom. Now we've got some support, and now we need it to confirm that 354 before we can start to short. Now, once it starts to confirm 354, we've got 10 points worth of room, so it's going to be an excellent trade, but we just need to be a little bit patient, okay? Let's take a look at Google really quick. Take some of these old lines off. What is everyone looking to trade today? Is anyone looking to trade any specific names? So if we kind of look here at Google, same story here. We're going to run into this macro demand. We're going to run into the 1 hour supports here at 97.52. Anything below 97.52 has room to 97. Not really a stock that I'm going to look to trade today. Just not enough room for me, right? We've got a lot of support. We got support here, 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 here. It's very tight. The ranges are very, very tight on Google. You know, Google looks better to the long side if the bulls are able to kind of trap and recover. If Google can trap and recover, and can kind of take out this 99.12 and take out 99.40, it's got room back up to $100.32. Top of the range here on Google is $100.64. I'd like to play Google more so on a trap if the bulls can kind of recover this week. You know, trap those shorts, take it red to green, and then continue with the move higher. But again, you know, it all depends on what the market wants to do. I can have my own personal opinion. You can have your own personal opinion of what the market, you know, should do, or what you want it to do. But, you know, all in all, you need to just pay attention to what's going on in the actual price action, because in my opinion, your opinion really doesn't mean anything. We just need to have our analysis done, so that way when the price action does do whatever it's going to do, we can just kind of take advantage of that move. We're going to quickly take a look at AMD. AMD, another semiconductor, also pulling back in the pre-market, which is healthy, right, guys? This is fine. You know, if you're somebody, or you're a trader right now who's thinking, you know, well, why is the market down? Are we going lower? If you're asking those kind of questions, you still need more experience. You need more screen time, right? Guys, we've been on a 2-3 week run higher. Okay, we've had 2 realistic red days in the past 2 weeks. Okay, a pullback is healthy. A pullback is healthy for the bulls. A pullback is healthy for the overall market. Now, could it be the top? Okay, could this be the short-term top? You know, basically this was a 2-3 week big bull trap, and now we're going to trap those longs and make another lower leg. It's entirely possible, but it's not something that I'm going to sit here and stress about. It's not something that I'm going to sit here and kind of, you know, be scared about, right? I still have to day trade. I still have to put food on the table every day, right? So it doesn't matter to me if the stocks are going long, you know, stocks are going short. It doesn't matter. I just need to get in somewhere on that move and make some money, right? And, you know, a lot of times too many traders are worried about, you know, oh, is the run over? Am I too late? Or, you know, oh, stocks are going lower. You're dead set on one specific level. Just forget about all that. Just look at the charts and play the day accordingly. There's plenty of trades and there's plenty of ways to make money each and every single day. You just have to be, you know, smart about it. You can't be stupid. Doesn't matter what you think, you know, you just do your technicals. So we're going to look at AMD. I'm going to go over Tesla one more time very quickly. Tesla levels are pretty easy, but let's just look at AMD. Pre-market lows, we're looking at 73.69. So we do have some support here on the 1 hour chart. We're looking at 73.63 and we're looking at 73.81. Those two levels are going to be the 100 EMA and the 100 simple, right? So what we would be looking for if the market pulls back, let's say we want to go on a 1 or 2 day rest, AMD would need to get below, okay, for me, pre-market lows, and it's going to need to close below $73.63, okay? As soon as it closes below that on a 1 hour candle, right? So let's give 30 minutes of the market to kind of open. If we break that level, we put in a low, what I'm going to need to do is wait for a next candle, right? Meaning a next hour candle to kind of confirm that. And then I have room down to 72.87. So again, because we've been on such a run up, there's going to be little pit stops along the way, meaning you're not just going to have this big drastic, range where, the stocks are going to fall 20, 30 points in a day. It might happen, right? On some stocks, on some names, maybe indexes, maybe a stock like Tesla. But on a stock like AMD, we can't really be expecting a 10, 12 point move, right? We have to kind of play accordingly. And as a trader, as a shorter term trader, we have to be happy with, taking that dollar, taking 80 cents, taking $2, taking $3 off of a stock. If you can take $3 off of a stock with intraday, you're doing a hell of a job, right? You're doing a hell of a job, so what we would be looking for here again, 73.61, anything below that, we've got room down into 72.78. So you've got almost about $1 worth of room. You take 10, 15, 20 contracts of AMD and you get $1 move, you're going to be making some decent money, right? $300, $400, $500 on a trade. That can come within 5 minutes. It can come within 10, 20 minutes. That's what I would really be looking for. Again, below that 72.61, we've got room down to the 200-day moving average on a 1 hour time frame. Again, just as a 1 hour time frame, that room is down to 71. So potentially this is where we could have a soft landing before the bulls start to kind of go back higher. Again, you've got to have a sneaky entry intraday for a long position here over 75.66. Hourly chart very, very quickly. The daily chart very, very quickly. You can see we've kind of just been going sideways the past 4 days. Our macro support is 72.78. Again, not too interested in the short, but again, if we get a day where I need to short, I'm going to have to play that accordingly, right? So, your macro short position is not until we lose $68.29. So just to kind of go over those Tesla levels one more time very quickly. Tesla, hell of a run, right? Phenomenal run. Hope everyone was making money on the way up. We are coming into this daily macro supply here, 184.24. Keep that in mind here because we need to close over this on a daily candle, close over 184.24 before we have more room to stretch. That next price target over that level is going to be $200. Okay, that's what I would be looking to play. That's what I will be playing. If we get that. Now again, previous day's lows is not until 161, so that's a hell of a lot of room down. We're going to have to go to a smaller time frame here to kind of see. As of right now, on a 1 hour time frame, Tesla is just flagging here at the top on a 1 hour time frame. Nothing really concerns me to the downside until we start to lose 173.37. If Tesla loses 133 or 173.37, then I would be looking to take a short position. It's going to have room down into 167. That's your level that you're going to be playing. That would be the price target you would be looking for between 167 and 170. You're going to look for that below 173.37. Now, if you're an aggressive scalper, you can definitely take positions below your previous hour's low. If you look at your previous hour here in the pre-market, your previous hour's low is 177.12. Now, sometimes I'll take these trades, and I actually take these trades a lot more than, most people do. But if I know, for example, that I have room below this support underneath this previous hour's candles low, 177, call it, I know that I've got room to 1, 2, 3 candles worth of support here from the pre-market at 174. That's a $3 move. If you take proper sizing on Tesla, or you even take 2 or 3 contracts on Tesla and you get a $2 or $3 move, that's a phenomenal move in itself, right? You don't even need to let it wait to break 173.36. You can take that $2, $3 move going down to the pre-market lows and then kind of take your money, turn your computer screen off and go about your day, right? You don't always have to make $10 on Tesla. You don't always have to make, 100% on Tesla. You get a $3 move, $2 move on a stock like Tesla, you're making really good money. So just to kind of keep that in context here. And you do have your sneaky pivot to the long side here over 180, over $180 here is going to have room into Friday's highs, and I would really be looking to take out these Friday's highs fairly easy. That those prices are 180.68, and then look to play that into 185.80. So just kind of keep that in mind. We're going to look at stock that was a very hot runner here from Friday, Lucid. So Lucid had that hell of a move, phenomenal move all the way up to $17.80. Congratulations to anyone who took that and made some money on Lucid. That's hell of a move here. Kind of pulled all the way back, right? So we're trading right around $12.87 at the close, trading at $13 as of now. Kind of flagging sideways here. So Lucid's going to have some support at 12. It's going to have some support at 12.25. You'd really have to look at a smaller time frame if you kind of want to play in between that. I would look for a long if Lucid wants to have kind of a second day pop here over 1480. Over 1480 has room to 1565. Those would be the levels that I would play into. I'd play into that upper Bollinger Band here, kind of take my profits, hold the runner, see if we can test that 17. If we do start to pull back, I would look for anything below $12 on Lucid. Below $12 on Lucid does have support down here at 10.55. So you got about $1 room here, you got about $1 room there. Those would be some of the levels that I would be looking to play. I'm gonna quickly take a look at Coinbase and see what the cryptos are doing. I like this setup here with a nice pop that we had on Friday, pulled right back in the pre-market session here into this rising support here. I would be looking for a long on Coinbase over $60.52. I would play that into the next area of supply here at $61.36. I'd take some profits here, hold a runner, see if we can reattempt to close back up here at the highs from Friday at $62.29. Anything over $62.29 on Coinbase has room to $63.43. Kind of keep that in mind. And your short position, really wouldn't be interested in a short on Coinbase until we get a 1 hour candle close below $58.79. That's 20-day moving average. So kind of keep that in mind if we do lose that area here. That 20-day moving average is going to have room all the way down to 56.38. So kind of keep that in mind. Guys, market just opened. Need to get on these charts and do a little bit of trading. If you guys like this, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to try to do them a little bit different each day, kind of set up some new formatting. This is really the first time that I've done the pre-market kind of live stream. I'm going to include some more data and information in these videos as we kind of go along, but just kind of wanted to quickly go over some of the names that I watch on a day-to-day basis, kind of watch this as we start to pop here. That Coinbase over that $60, getting that nice pop now. But I'll see you guys all in the next video. Good luck today, and make sure you guys practice good risk management.